Hey everybody, happy Saturday, episode 63. Thanks for joining us tonight.
I was trying to do the math in my head.
Yeah, I am
Yes,
not, I can't remember that, so I always have to look to see what the number was before.
that's okay.
So if you joined us the last time, our last episode, we were just catching up on things and
Things.
on business and things that we're doing this new year. And we had mentioned, obviously, we had a whole episode about getting tattoos, and we didn't get them yet, but we went
We
and
did.
we went for our consultation, and
It
we have an
started out as a
appointment.
harmless joke.
Okay, well, this is what I was thinking. I was like, I think a benefit of being together as long as we have 27 years is being able to, after all these years, just be crazy and try new things. I mean, we've done a lot of things that we
Just be crazy.
for the rest of the time. Let's just be crazy. That's gonna be our slogan.
Okay.
So yeah, so we
Was that a Michael Scott thing? It's getting all crazy
yeah,
up in here.
it's getting all crazy up in here.
When they were hot,
It was
um,
Michael Scott.
when they took the kid hostage.
Yeah. So anyway, so we called the place that we had researched, and it's close to our house. So we ended up calling, and then he said, "Why don't you come on in for a consultation?" Now, mind you, this tattoo place has been in our town for years and years and years. We've driven past about 1,000,000 times. Never stepped
And walked
in,
past it.
Yeah, and walked past it 1,000,000 times. Never stepped inside. It wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be on the inside.
What were you imagining it would look
I
like?
don't know.
Like spider webs
Yeah.
and bats and
Just like all
like
goth.
shackles hanging off the walls and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
It's gonna be really scary.
Skeletons, bones.
Yeah. But we met with the person who owns the establishment. He's been doing it for many years, and we found his Instagram, Facebook.
He
listened
kind of
to-
reminded me a little bit of Bob Mould when Bob Mould has a beard. He looked, of course, it's hard to tell because everyone was wearing a mask.
Yeah,
But that's kind of what the impression, because he was wearing like a flannel shirt, standard issue for Bob Mould.
definitely.
He's tall. He may or may not have a receding hairline and a gray beard, and so he reminded me of Bob Mould.
And then the one question that we had, which we would have not done it so soon if in the near future if it couldn't be, but we definitely wanted to be together. So he said he was fine with that. So nobody else can come, but
And why do we want to do it together?
so I can hold your hand.
Right. She's afraid I'm gonna cry.
You might have to hold my hand. You never know. I don't know how much it's gonna hurt, so it is what it is. But anyway, so we gave him our ideas. He had a book of things that he's done
That's
and
right.
artwork and things like that. David already knew what he wanted, so we just kind of texted him while we were there what our ideas were, and so we're going 2 weeks from today is happening.
Yeah, that's right. The 30th.
Mhm.
That's right.
So even though we kind of we're thinking about doing it to end 2020 because it was so crazy, it's still going to happen in
But
January.
as it turns out, 2021 is basically still just as
Pretty
crazy.
much,
So
yeah.
you might as well do
Nothing's
it.
changed.
Yeah, well, and some things are a little wackier, but I thought it was interesting that he mostly just had art on the wall. I mean, he had some like pictures of work that he had done, but he had a lot of paintings and things like
Yeah.
that on the wall.
It was very nice on the inside, so
So, yeah.
I feel much better about that. I'm not going to be scared. So yeah, so we've committed. We're doing it. Now the question is, like, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
It's up to you.
Okay, because I was thinking I could go first because mine is smaller, and then it would.
Well, that is true.
Mine is
Yeah.
simpler, and then then I can just hang out.
I think
and,
you're just afraid I'll embarrass
no.
you. And I'll call it off.
Or I get too scared and you're like, no, I don't want to do it.
I didn't pass out when you had children.
That's
when you
true.
had babies.
Yeah,
I didn't pass out in other circumstances.
that's true. And I always think like I'm sure I'm gonna be fine because I don't mind any like gory things like medical procedures, things like that.
You don't mind gory medical procedures?
No.
Having them done? Or
Well, like seeing it or whatever. I took, and when I was in college, I took anatomy physiology, and one of the, it was to fulfill a science degree, but I just did it. Mostly nurses were in it. pre-med students, so it was like all about the body, bones, brain, and stuff like that.
Oh,
And I'll never forget that, like, the second week, they brought us in another room and there was a cadaver there, and then 5 people, they were just like, nope, and then walked out and never came back. And so I guess if I can do that, then I can probably handle this.
Are you gonna have a tattoo of a cadaver?
No, that would be bad.
Well,
So we got that going for us, which is nice. And I kind of figured we could kind of do like, we'll kind of like piece it together, like take little movies of it or whatever, and then edit
we
it all
didn't ask him
together.
if he would have let us actually film in there.
Yeah, I bet he would. I mean, because it's not like, I mean, it's only like.
It's not like reality TV where people will do and say anything on TV, and then, yeah, they don't care. They just want to be on TV. Like, did we talk? Did we talk about the Taxi Cab Confession
We
show
did.
here?
Yes.
Where they would have people just say the most insane
Insane.
things and the most intimate things and the most private things, and they didn't know they were being filmed, and so at the end of the show they would give them the waiver to sign.
Right, you're on a show called Taxi Cab Confessions, and then they're like, sure.
Yeah, I
put it
mean,
on.
after they, and they're usually, of course, it's an interesting legal question because a lot of times they were drunk or high, so you wonder if the waiver was really valid.
Right.
But putting that aside, yeah. So, but we're not on HBO.
Yeah.
So he may or may not want us in there. We could do a live thing while we were getting.
We'll see. We're gonna have to
We
piece
don't
it
want
out.
to
We're
make
gonna.
it too elaborate.
Yeah. But I think it would be kind of fun to like have like a little video of like us walking over there, you know, on like the outside of the building.
Why are you so pale?
What's wrong with you?
Oh, God.
Good times. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. In fact,
I am too.
he had times during the week, but obviously since we both work, we didn't think that was a good idea to take a break and do
Right.
that or do it
And
in the
I don't
evening.
know how long it's gonna take.
I don't either. Our
you
appointment
know-
starts at 11 a.m., so I'm sure.
Right. And with more elaborate things, sometimes, I mean, yours is going to be simple because it's all one color.
Yeah,
But, sometimes you have to do it in more than one sitting.
that's true. I didn't.
I'm not going to do the whole, and that's a funny thing. I'll get back to that. But I'm not going to do like the whole sleeve of like Celtic knots and Celtic patterns. I have a friend who has that.
Oh, just like all over.
But I was talking to one of my brothers and a couple of my sisters, doing a Zoom thing, and I can't remember how the conversation came up. One of my sisters made a comment about people my age and dressing a certain way, and I was saying to her that she's got it all wrong. She's talking about people much younger than me. And so then my brother Paul, my oldest brother, said something along the lines of, he made some comment about getting a sleeve of tattoos like that. And I guess I had never mentioned this to them. So I said, no, I'm just going to do a small thing. And they were all totally taken aback by this.
Like, wait, are you serious right
Yeah.
now?
Although my oldest sister may have known because she may have seen the thing that
Mhm.
but in any event, regardless. And I'm like, no, we are going to do
I was just
that.
gonna say. So I know your sister Joan has one or more.
Are we supposed to tell about people's tattoos?
Well, I was just gonna say like in my brother or sister or my mom does not have it, so I'll
They're
be the first one.
cowards.
Although Minnie's Hannah has a bunch, and her husband
Oh,
Jacob
that's true.
obviously, but I'll be the first in our generation to do it. So that's pretty fun. I
Well,
don't
now
know
that
if
you mention
your brother
that,
Mark has, right?
yeah, they had, but they, some of the older kids did it a long time ago. I mean, he's got. Well, I shouldn't tell tale about his school. He has initials on his forearm, and there's a story behind the initials, but I won't go into it. I had a trial one time, a prisoner civil rights trial, where we were challenging, some program of the state, and one of the witnesses on the witness stand had the little teardrop, tattoo under his eye, and the judge started asking him questions about it because it wasn't in front of a jury. So the judge, in a bench trial, sometimes the judge will ask witnesses questions, and he was asking him about the tattoo, and the guy made up a story. Well, I shouldn't say. I don't want to say made up a story. I don't know if he was lying under oath, but he was explaining his rationale for it. And then afterwards, one of the lawyers who happened to represent the state of Illinois said in some conversation we were having outside the courtroom, he said, that that tattoo means that he carried out a gang hit.
Oh, is that what that means?
But I don't know that that's true. Or
Yeah.
not. I've never gotten actual confirmation on that. So I think that he was just trying to, the other lawyer was just trying to be a tough guy.
Yeah.
But it would have been a bad scenario for the judge to be asking questions and for a witness to make up a story about it. But I've never wanted to get the teardrop tattoo.
Or anything on my face.
Yeah.
We were joking because if you're not familiar with Post Malone, who has he's a singer.
Is
and
there
he
anyone
has-
who's not familiar with him now?
Yeah, has tattoos all over his face and everything, and so they actually sell those as temporary tattoos for the holidays or for the holidays.
For the holidays. Well, if you really wanted to, like,
Show up at your house.
there's our,
I meant Halloween.
there's
Buffalo.
the cat that likes to climb on the pipes in the basement.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was so funny. Not for the holidays, for Halloween.
It's a
but
holiday.
it is. But we thought it'd be funny if we got some of those temporary tattoos and then came back and be like, this is what we chose. I think our kids would not have thought that was too funny. But I do.
All right, so this is what Wikipedia says about the teardrop tattoo.
Okay, let's hear it.
The teardrop tattoo, or tear tattoo, is a symbolic tattoo of a tear. Did I need that explanation? That is placed underneath the eye. The teardrop is one of the most widely recognized prison tattoos and has various meanings. It can signify that the wearer spent time in prison. Now, that's what the guy said.
Okay.
He said that it was because he was going to miss his family while he was in jail. So that is one actual.
Alrighty.
That is one actual meaning, or more specifically, we won't go into some of the grosser aspects of it. Sometimes with women, it's done as a. It says, never mind. This one says sometimes worn by female companions of prisoners. Okay. In solidarity.
But then it does say on that one that it was on this line right there.
That he's killed someone.
Yeah.
The person who's killed him.
So Wikipedia says at least that.
Yeah, but at least there's more than one plausible explanation.
Can you imagine how much that would hurt just right there? Just be so it's so tender right there.
By the way, just for clarification, see, I knew the guy was I ignored the comment because I knew. Well, first of all, you don't ever just accept whatever someone else says about someone, a witness of yours. But it says in West Coast gang culture, the tattoo may signify that the wearer has killed someone. Well, this was in the state of Illinois in the 90s.
Yeah.
So
So that wouldn't have anything to do with that.
We can edit this out.
That's okay. So we got that on the docket, and then tomorrow is a sad day because we're bringing our youngest back to school. And so hopefully it snowed a little bit today. It's gonna have some snow showers tomorrow. So hopefully our drive will not be bad. And in case Lori from City Girl, if you see this, if it wasn't COVID, we would definitely like to have coffee with you guys. But we'll definitely do that at some point when we come down there to have coffee with her and her husband.
Let's just look up weather.com for Urbana.
And do the.
Well, I just
We
want.
just don't know how
forecast.
it. I mean, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes, so it's not far from Chicago. But you don't know what the weather's. You can see it here and there, but what's it going to be in between?
It says the same thing it said before. Some snow showers during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least it's not blizzard. It's not that bad.
Well, that's the theory anyway.
And I was telling David about a story and Claire today about when we were talking about driving conditions, what you hate driving in. Horrible rain is bad because it's white out, you can't see anything. But then also if it's white out conditions when you're driving in the snow. And one year, I was probably 20. I wanted to visit my brother and sister-in-law. They were living in Des Moines at the time for Thanksgiving. I was going to leave on Wednesday. Horrible storm. It was going to be worse overnight. It's a 6-hour drive and everything. And I was being super stubborn. And I'm like, I'm going. And my parents don't go. It's going to be too dangerous. Don't go. So finally I was like, fine, I won't go. So it was probably 16 hours later. I got on the road the next day and it was sunny and everything. But on my way, it was just car after car after car in the ditch and everything. And I was like, that would have been my for my stubbornness, that would have been my
The price you
the
pay.
price I paid because I was like too anxious to get there. So listen to your parents sometimes when they say don't go if it's a bad situation.
Listen to your parents.
Yeah, listen to your parents. So yeah, so that's pretty much our weekend so far. And then we also have Monday off, so we're just gonna after tomorrow, let the relaxing continue, and have no regrets about that. I certainly don't.
Oh, I'm gonna regret it. I don't know what that means.
Yeah. So anyway, so have a good rest of the evening and good rest of the weekend, and we will see you next week. Have a good night, everybody.